Explain to us what a New York bathhouse is or was.
I think for the overwhelming majority of gay men, their first contact with the community at all would have been, depending on where they were, either a bathhouse or a bar.
Oh, don't show gay sex. Don't do that. That's the fucking devil.
There is a very strategic position that Uganda is in. 50% of the population is under 15 years old. We can multiply ourselves in these young people.
Hi there, I'm Nicholas Kazami, and I'm here with Lynn Crocker, who is an international programmer here at Hot Docs in Toronto. Every year, Hot Docs has an array of gay and lesbian and queer-based films, and this year is no exception. So what are some highlights?
We have Continental. It's about a legendary New York bathhouse called Continental. It was opened in 1968 by a man named Stephen Ostrow, and he was a fabulous entrepreneur and former opera singer. And he had this idea to create a space for gay sex that was sort of a brighter, cleaner, more fabulous place than some of the dark, dank corners that were previous bathhouses in New York. And it was also a full functioning cabaret where a lot of musicians got their start, like Bette Midler. She had some of her first performances there, and in fact, that's where she gained her nickname, the Divine Miss M.
At the end of the day, anyone watching this will consider it pornography, and you will be in it.
One of the most, popular films is Interior Leather Bar, and it's because it's a combination of Travis Matthews, who's made some adult films, adult gay films specifically, and of course, James Franco.
James Franco and Travis Matthews, it's their brainchild, and they conceived to reimagine what might have been the deleted scenes from the controversial 1980 film Cruising that starred Al Pacino. Franco and Travis assemble a group of actors, professional and non-professional, gay and straight, and they have them sort of improvise some very sweaty, sexy, dark scenes in a cruising bar. And they also sort of really play with the comfort level of a lot of their actors. And so this is a film about sex, and it's a film about censorship, but it's also a really amazing exercise that looks at the process of artistic creation as well.
What was one film that jumped out at you and you had such a visceral response to?
Valentine Road, I had a really visceral response to. I mean, 10 minutes into the film, I could feel the tears welling up. It's about a 2008 school shooting. An 8th grader shot his classmate who had just begun to sort of showcase his queerness by wearing makeup and high heels and jewelry to school. And when he asked his classmate to be his Valentine, that upset his classmate a great deal, and so the next day he shot and killed him. And this film is really about the systemic homophobia and racism that's prevalent in the United States, and it's really about how the system, the parents, the school, the community really failed both of these children, and it ended in tragedy. And I think it's heartbreaking, and it's poignant, and it's a really important film.
So what is this new documentary about the Pussy Riot group?
Pussy Riot, A Punk Prayer, looks at the situation of the feminist punk rock collective Pussy Riot in Russia. They're now infamous because of their YouTube videos of their performance when they crashed the altar of a major cathedral in Moscow, and then they were imprisoned by Putin's government. This film really looks at the fact that feminism and rebellion are in fact alive and well in Russia, and the fact that that is existing really terrifies the government.
I'm part of a leadership team here at the International House of Prayer. I believe the Lord is calling me to pray for a great missionary force.
Last year, Call Me Cuckoo was a total highlight for me, and there is in some ways, not by the same filmmakers, a follow-up this year. Could we talk about that?
Yeah, God Loves Uganda is a great companion piece to Call Me Cuckoo because it shows the relationship of the American evangelists and what they're doing to sort of influence policy in Uganda. They're passing laws that make homosexuality completely illegal, and often it's punishable by death. So there's a bunch of churches in the States, including one called the International House of Prayer, or IHOP as they like to be called, and that's in Kansas City, and they're using all of their money and their resources to influence policy in Uganda. They think that North America is already morally bankrupt with all of our equality laws for gay people, and so Africa is really the new crown jewel in their spiritual movement.
Homosexuality, I love in Uganda. We got what?
thank you so much for talking to us. And when does Hot Docs begin and run for?
Hot Docs kicks off April 25th with the Canadian film The Manor, and our last day is Sunday, May 5th.